Hey, what's up? I'm Lights, and this is Records in My Life.
Hi guys, thanks as always for checking out Records in My Life. We have the lovely Lights on today.
Oh, hey.
How are you doing?
I'm good. We're having some good conversations behind the scenes already. I'm into this.
Good. Thank you so much for being on the show. We appreciate it.
Of course, thank you.
I mean, you're busy producing comics and records, and you're going on tour.
So much work, but it's all worth it.
Tell the people the name of the comic book series.
Yeah, so the new record's called Skin and Earth, and the comic is of the same name. It's a 6-issue comic series that I drew and wrote, and the music tells the story. The lyrics work their way into the dialogue of the comic, and every chapter is actually a song title. So it ties together perfectly, and it was kind of an awesome project to work on because if I would get stumped on the music, I would just move into the art and the story, and that would spawn ideas for the music again. I'd go back in and just weave between the two, and I was getting stumped on the other, and it was awesome just trading off these two art forms to tell the same story and work towards the same goal. So, you know, when you listen to these two art forms together, it's like this augmented experience. But of course, each stands on their own, and that was part of the challenge, was writing a song that had a comic meaning and a regular meaning. If you had no idea what the storyline was, it still means something on its own as well.
That's pretty big. That's ambitious.
It's very ambitious.
That's admirable. I mean,
thank you.
Yeah. Is there an album that still inspires you to write, that you listen to, that you've? I mean, it could be a newer album or something you've listened to when you were younger.
Yeah, there's a few of those records that still hold up. One of them is For Emma Forever Go by Iver. Whenever I listen to that, I'm always inspired to sit down with an acoustic because there's some intimacy about that I love. And actually, I always kind of end up putting out acoustic versions of my music because I feel like you can't get to know your song until you sit down and play it acoustically, and then you understand it on another level. And I get that from that record. There's something so beautiful and personal about that record. So that one always reminds me to write. One record that's constantly inspiring and I think was way ahead of its time was Kate Bush, Hounds of Love. Awesome record. That was the name of the record, right? Yeah. Like Cloud Busting and Running Up That Hill, Hounds of Love. These were all insanely ahead of their time, if you ask me. So that record, I listened to her and I go, what would Kate Bush do? What would Kate Bush do? Joga by Bjork is another amazing record. Just the innovation in terms of production and those ideas and her lyrics and her outside perspective of how a song should be laid out. Those songs I always sit down and listen to when I'm feeling a lack of inspiration. I'm always reminded there are no rules in the game of music.
Right. Yeah, Bjork. I mean, Bjork has definitely proved that point, right?
Yeah, big time.
She was really, another one that was ahead of her time.
Way ahead of her time. Yeah. She's still ahead of her time. We still don't know where Bjork belongs. You know what I mean? She's in the future.
Sure. Well, who knows what she'll do next?
Yet.
Right. One final album, as this is a bit of an educational show for music lovers. So let's go with tell us maybe a newer album you've gotten into recently.
Yeah. Okay. So there's a record that I listened to front to back probably more than any other record in the last couple of years, and it's because it's wonderful for drawing to, and I've been drawing a lot, and when I draw I like to be transported to another place but not have to like be overwhelmed by lyric, because as a lyricist, when I'm listening to music, that's all I hear. I can't have a conversation and try to listen to a lyric. I'm like, I'm going to listen to that instead of talk to you. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just so easily distracted by lyrics. There's an artist named Truise, and it's mostly instrumental. There's like vocal samples and stuff in it, but it's just this amazing vibe. His new record is called Iteration, and I have played that thing from front to back so many times, and that has directly probably played into the way that I'm drawing and the way that I feel, because there's something empowering about the way the music is, but also emotional and sad and sexy, like all the emotions packed into these records. So yeah, that's a new record. If you like sort of instrumental electronic, Truise Iteration is a good one.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. This interview has been a wealth of information. We've covered so much. It's been great.
This is a wonderful talk.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And we like to ask our guests, do you have any words of wisdom or advice for our viewers?
In general?
And can be anything. Can be a joke as well. Or,
okay, well, here's this reflects on our conversation before. Don't be an asshole. You know what I mean? Like, I think it shouldn't have to be said, but like, there's no room for dicks in the industry anymore. You know, and if you're trying to get in music, be a nice person, be a good person, take care of people, be thoughtful, understand other realities. But I think the time for being oblivious about other people is over. Perfect. Thank you so much. That was well said. You're natural. I mean, this comes right out. Some people just think, it's a hard thing to do.
Right on. Thank you so much. Have a good time. Cheers. Good luck with everything. Thank you. So we're talking about records, right?
Yes.
We're talking about records.